Hey guys, it's Ted with OAXRAY, and today we're going to go over BULQ.com. That's BULQ.com, and we're going to look at some pallets for sale, see if we can find some profitable items. The site we're going to be going over today is BULQ.com, BULQ.com. It is a service that sells pallets of items. You can get hundreds of items on a pallet, or I've seen pallets with only 4 or 5 items on it. There are other different sites where you can buy pallets of items or lots. And today I'm going to show you how to evaluate one of these using OAXRAY. So here we are on the BULQ site, and I just went to shop condition new, and I also went to newly added, and I just came to this random one right here. I don't know if it's profitable or not, but I just want to show you how to evaluate. We'll see what happens here. So we see that this one cost $800 and it says it's 89% off retail. What we want to know is what Amazon will pay us out after we sell all this stuff on Amazon FBA. A couple things to note: that they have an accuracy guarantee, 98+% accuracy, and they do flat rate shipping for their pallets. So you might want to check out these different features because different websites will have different features that they offer, different shipping rates and such. So first thing I'm going to do is download the manifest, and from here I'm going to go over to Google Sheets, upload this to put this in the correct format. So now that I'm over to Google Sheets, I'm on a random blank page, and I'm going to click File and Import. I'm going to go over here to Upload, and I'm just going to drag and drop the file right here. I'm going to replace this spreadsheet. Hit go. Now from here there are 2 different manifests that come from BULQ.com: manifest by unit and manifest by SKU. Manifest by SKU is the easier one to use, so I'm going to delete the manifest by unit page. Now I'm going to add an additional column here and insert one above. Now all of these need to be named custom 1 through custom 9, and we name these the first column this so that the program recognizes these and does not delete or use them in any way, especially whenever you have UPC and the ASIN column. We don't want the program to get confused. So in this column right here for ASIN, we're going to put ASIN, and we're going to do that all the way through 9. So one thing I want to mention about BULQ that's kind of cool is they have been looking up the ASINs. So I've been noticing that the ASINs have been pretty accurate for what they show here in the ASIN column, but some of the times if you look at these, there may not be a match on Amazon. Like here it says unknown. So whenever I get any items like this, you may have to look that up and see what you can sell it for if you create the listing yourself. So now I've got all my columns named except for the ASIN. I'm going to click here and I'm going to delete any extra rows or columns. So delete all these. And I'm going to go to the bottom and delete any extra rows down here. So I'm left with a clean form. I have my custom headers at the top, and I have the one column that says ASIN. From here, I'm going to go to File and Download as a CSV file. I just want to remind you that if you right click on OAXRAY, you come to an options page and you must have your Amazon credentials input down here before you can process CSV files. Once my credentials are input, I can just left click on the OAXRAY extension. It brings up a page like this. I go to the Load CSV feature and I browse my files. Once my file is in, it should say detected columns and it should say ASIN right here and your total number of items, and it looks like we have 56 items. I hit go. Once we hit go, we're going to come to a screen like this, and it's time to start filtering out those items that we don't want. As we can see, there's a few items on here that have a really high sales rank, and I would just filter these out. They're going to have a value, but for me, I like to make sure that I don't have any outliers on my sheet that might mess up my total numbers. So you have a choice at this point. You can just download this, the full spreadsheet, and calculate your total profit. But what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to filter out some items by rank. So I want my minimum rank to be 1 million. And I'll click on my buys, and what that will do is just filter out all the items that have a rank over 1 million, and it's going to leave me with the items that I think I can actually sell in a reasonable amount of time. So here I'm going to export this to CSV file. I'm going to go back over to my Google Doc, and I'm going to open this or import it, upload, and I'm just going to drag over my table and see what we come up with. Just going to replace everything and import and see what we come up. You can delete any columns that you want to at this point, so I'm just going to delete column A. I don't need CSV shop column. ROI column is useless in this. We don't know actual buy cost is. We can use the oversize if you want to. The two important columns here are column F. I'm going to move that over so I can know what my net profit are. Column Q, which is my quantity column. Okay, so now that I pulled over my net profit, it's going to be pretty easy to figure out my total value. And I'm simply going to insert a formula. I'm going to insert function and then sum, and it's going to be P2 and asterisk Q2. And that's going to give me the total. So what that means is my net profit is $5.69. If I sell 19 of these, which is what Bulk told us was in quantity, I'm going to make $108 on this item. So I'm going to scroll this down, and for here I can do a total also. I'm going to insert, I'm going to go to sum, and I'm going to do T2 30. And that's going to give me the total value of the lot. Even though I just had the total value of the lot, there's one or two things you might want to do in this situation. And that is there's an item right here with a very good sales rank, 74,000, and we can click here, use the hyperlink to go to Amazon. And since this item has a bunch of reviews, looks like 26 reviews, I'm going to go down and I'm going to see what this item is selling for. Looks like it's about $67. I can go to my FBA fee calculator and I can see what the net payout on this item is going to be, but I've looked and it's going to be about $50. So in my net payout column, I'm going to change this from a -6, because we were calculating this based on a price of 0 because we did not have an actual selling price, and we can put 50 there. That's going to change the actual net payout of that item and actually change the calculation here. So assuming all the ASINs that Bulk provided us were correct, and also we already eliminated the items that I do not think will sell very quickly. There's a few higher ranking items, but they're within a range that I think will sell in a reasonable amount of time, and they're low quantities. If you see an item with a high quantity, like here we have 52, you might look at the rank, look at the listing, and see if you think all of these will sell through, because that can affect your final value. Like as you can see here, this one adds $372 to the final value of this lot. So if you don't think 52 will sell through, you may adjust this number based on what you think will sell through in a reasonable amount of time. Now this lot cost $800. It is delivered for free, so it's $800. That's including all the delivery. It looks like there are going to be actually 151 items in this lot. So from here you can make a cost decision on how much it's going to cost you to ship in, depending on how big the items are. Let's say it's going to cost us 50 bucks. We are going to make $338.52 on this lot. Now you have to remember that some of these items I've excluded. So I have excluded the high ranking items. If I go back to my OAXRAY page, I can see that some of these items had a 0 rank. Whenever we filtered this out, all of these items were removed because the rank was 0 and it looked like these items would not sell very quickly. You can also see that we filtered out some of these high ranking items that are over 1 million. So we're still getting those items in the lot, but I just did not want those items to skew my final payout numbers. If we do this entire lot, we come out with a total value of more like $1,900, but I like to do it based on what I think will sell in a reasonable amount of time. So these might be items that go better on eBay, or these might be items that you send to the FBA Fulfillment Center and see if you can sell them. Remember that everyone has their own buying criteria, and take that in consideration before you make any lot purchases. Thank you for checking out this video on how to make profits selling pallets of items using OAXRAY. Check us out at OAXRAY.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day and make some money using OAXRAY.